You ready?
Whenever you are.
Come on down, it's Otwell Middle School, the place to be, where the Bulldogs rule. Inside these walls in Sikkim Studios, David and Greg on the mic, here we go. Got the latest scoops and the hottest takes. The perfect podcast, whatever it takes. From the hallways to the games, have you not heard that show around? Here we go, Unleash the Bulldogs, let's hear the roar. Talking about everything and so much more. Bulldogs Unleashed, we're live on the air. David and Greg, we're right here.
Sikkim Studios, baby. First two.
Need a great meal where the biscuits are fine. Sonic Mountain Biscuit Company there on the line.
Yum.
Looking for a ride, something slick. Andy Chevrolet, they're the ones to pick. Craving some chips and a little salsa dip. Los Rios Cantina, a fantastic trip.
Right.
We got the best sponsors. We want to thank them all for bringing this show to the halls. Unleash the Bulldogs, let's hear the roar.
Bring it.
Talking about everything and so much more. Bulldogs Unleashed, we're live on the air. David and Greg, we're right here.
Let's go, David. We out. So off before we start recording, I just want to thank you, man, personally, for just being an inspiration as a young teacher, man, and use a lot of those gifts and talents today, bro. Like, good stuff.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Absolutely, man.
I've been doing this for a long time and sharing for a long time, and I sometimes forget that.
The why?
It's easy to do.
Don't forget your why.
It's easy to do in this profession.
So, day 2, David Miller. Who we got on today?
You got a featured speaker.
Featured.
So if you come to GaETC,
does he have it on his badge?
He has it on his badge. He has the special badge.
No, he's got a duck. He's got a duck.
I do have a lucky duck. Somebody
that needs a feature.
That's better than the sticker.
Yeah.
But if you come to GaETC, you want to make sure you attend one of his sessions, one of his many sessions. We got Tony Vincent. He is creator of Learning in Hand. We're going to talk about that. Educator, innovator, feature speaker all across the world, always here at GaETC. So Tony, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
How many sessions are we talking about in these 2 days? 3 days?
We're doing 7 over 2 days.
All right.
Dang.
Wow.
7. All completely different, kind of ish connected, or?
They have some connected themes, but I always try to make sure that if there was this theoretical person who wanted to come to all 7 sessions, there would be no really overlap. There's themes, but I'm not repeating anything.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So I go to all 7. I'm going to get something new in each of those 7.
Exactly.
Probably. I love that.
And how long you been presenting here, Tony?
I think my first one was around 2006 or 7.
Yeah.
And I've only missed maybe 3 years out of that.
Wow. That's crazy.
And when did Learning in Hand come about? What is it? Yeah, tell us the story of that.
Oh, man. So I've always been a techie teacher, and I started teaching, my daughter likes to call it the 1900s. So back in the 1900s, we didn't have a lot of technology in our classrooms, but being a geek and a creative person, I wanted to use everything I could get my hands on to be creative. And I had a class website in 1998 when there were no websites like that.
That was you had to build that thing.
Code for HTML. Oh gosh, I can't even remember the name. Claris something or Dreamweaver. But anyway, so I was using technology in my school district in 2001. Wanted to try out a one-to-one Palm Pilots.
Palm Pilots. Tony Vincent. In elementary school?
In elementary school. I was teaching 5th grade.
No way.
And because laptops then were so expensive, like $5,000.
Clunky and heavy.
And if you account for inflation, I mean, that's just too much.
Yes.
And they were clunky and big. So we had these things that were like $500, which seemed like a deal. And we had these fold-out keyboards. And then my mission and the mission of my students were really, how can we use this for learning? And we did so much cool stuff. It was my favorite year.
What did you do with the Palm Pilot?
What couldn't you do?
I don't know.
That's right.
They
didn't get on the web, but they had this feature, which I kind of missed, called beaming, where you would send information, you'd point it at each other, and it would use infrared to send
kind of like airdropping a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we explored, there was an address book, a Palm Pilot's more like a personal organizer. Mm-hmm. So we ended up using the address book to keep our vocabulary words. So instead of somebody's name, it was our word, and so their own personal dictionary was actually their address book.
I love that.
But you got to be creating the curriculum. It's not like there's this teachers pay teachers.
There's no teacher.
Chat GBT, like
Teacher pay Tony. Is what
teacher
it
pay
is.
Tony
That's
is
what it
learning
is.
hand, maybe. I don't know. That's cool. How many did you end up buying that year?
Well, that
over the
year,
years?
I mean, we had like 30 that year. Then we
Wow.
expanded it to the other 2 fifth grade classes. And then we got a set that could be on a cart for the school to use. They didn't end up rolling it out district-wide or anything, but it really set the stage for what can students do when they have this technology right in their hand.
Yeah.
And so my class website, I want to tell other people what we're doing. So I made a page on my class website called Planet Fifth. And it was just called Learning in Hand, trying to be
that.
creative with the Palm Pilot.
Yeah,
And
makes
then,
sense.
so
That's where it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I've just kept that name for my website, even though I don't really do much with Palm Pilots.
We should bring it back.
It needs to be
Tony.
brought back.
Like bring them back. That's
Yeah.
great. So all right. So you're in the classroom, 5th grade, loving life, doing the Palm Pilot thing, and then when's the next step? I mean, because you're obviously not in the classroom anymore. So then, tell us a little bit more about your journey.
So my school had a technology teacher, and then she left to do something, and I was so happy in the classroom.
Yeah.
But I was kind of drawn to let me try something different. And I was a tech teacher for a couple of years, and in 2005 I started podcasting.
Let's
focus in on that. I
There
love
it
that.
is.
When I saw that in your bio, I was like, okay, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, we were podcasting before podcasting was even in
Who's we?
iTunes.
Who's because you're a tech coach at this point?
Yeah, so I would partner with different teachers and say,
teachers.
hey, let's do this or let's do that. So I had started listening to some podcasts myself, and I'm like, this is I was already into using video with students, and my school previously had something called a Willowcast. Our school was Willowdale, and it was like a weekly broadcast live, and it was a lot of work to put together, and you had to worry about visuals, and it was a lot. It was cool, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
And then I thought, what if we just focused on audio and it wasn't live? Maybe we can make this more workable for the teachers, and that's what we did. The very first one I did was with a 2nd grade class, and I think, what was the topic for that one? Not remembering. But it's been a while.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's only been 20 years since then. But we came up with a way of having a host introduce a variety of segments. We used GarageBand for that. So students were in charge of different segments. So I made this little planner that they could say, I'm going to do the joke segment, or I'm going to do the history segment. And I had a little planner that took them through, and it was all centered around a topic. So we actually tackled our character counts. So there's one all about showing respect. Or if the class was studying space, every segment might be around space. The students would work together, research, and we'd have meetings, and the host's job was to figure out what order to go in and then introduce each segment, and the students could record on their own or with me. And it was very manageable. In fact, we had so many listeners and really inspired a lot of other podcasts to take that same format, because they listened to, we called the podcast Radio Willow Web.
Let's go.
And so where are we housing this? Where's it housed? I don't know.
Title, Tony.
Spotify may not be around in 2005. So where are you housing this podcast? Is it on your website, or?
It was on our school website, and then they turned off those servers. So I have copies of the MP3s, but they're not online anymore, unfortunately. Back to the name of Radio Willow Web. Yeah, it's a mouthful, especially if you're a first grader with a speech impediment.
You're trying to get the intro through. Wait a second. Yeah.
I remember I had a host once, and he didn't show up for his appointment with me to record. So then I think I called down to the classroom, and the teacher's like, Spencer's really afraid to come talk to you. I'm like, what's wrong? He didn't practice his script. No, it's not that. I'm like, well, have him come down and record. Well, he lost his front tooth last night, and he doesn't sound he's afraid he's going to ruin the podcast by not sounding great. I'm like, just send him down. We'll work around it. So he's like, I'm Spencer. This is Radio Willow Web.
Like Daffy Duck.
We still recorded it?
Of course.
Great.
Yes. You got
That's
to.
so cool. Now, how, you started, you're one of the first, you think, elementary, or just anyone, you think?
There weren't
Education.
I could only think of one other school-based podcast back then.
How did you even know about it for you to inspire to do it? Because again, they weren't like they are today. Did you stumble across one, or?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I remember Steve Dembo. Do you know him? He's I'm sure he's been at GaETC years ago, but he had a podcast for teachers. And I remember him talking about blogging, RSS feeds. He just talked into a microphone, and I thought, okay, he's doing this.
Why can't kids?
The kids could do this. And I remember being so excited to send him my first episode. I'm like, Steve, this is what my students did, inspired by what you're doing for teachers.
Did he respond back, or did he go?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he didn't ghost. We're good. We're good. Yeah.
That's so cool.
To Greg's point earlier, when you're doing something innovative and new, you can be met with some challenges, whether it's technical, networking, or colleagues who are looking at you like, what are you trying to do here?
Stick to the script.
Stay in the box.
Yeah.
Stick to the script. Did you come across any kind of negative feedback or negative vibes from neighboring teachers? Like, what are you doing? Like, no, we stick to this. We're not doing that. When we do this unit, we're doing this assessment. We're doing this topic.
I was so lucky to work with a team, my fifth grade team, where we did not expect us to teach the same. We were very different. We got along so well, but we'd kind of co-plan a few things, but otherwise, and especially as a new teacher back then, they're like, here, Tony, here's this. This is how I teach it. Mm-hmm. I'm just giving it to you. You can take it or leave it. And that's the way it was. I would make something. I would say, hey, I made this really cool math card game. Here you go. You can take it or you can leave it.
Take it or
so
leave it. Love it.
That was our attitude, and it worked great. I think that the teachers were always intrigued, like what's going on in Mr. Vincent's classroom. And then when I became the tech coach, like I knew the teachers very well and their strengths and what they needed hand-holding with and what they were willing to do. And I just met them where they were and took them step by step.
I love
What's
that.
their comfort level? What can they do? No,
Exactly.
I love that.
So two-part question, Tony. One, do you miss being in the classroom? And two, I know you've been out of it a minute, right? So how do you stay relevant that make sure that what you're presenting is landing with those teachers or administrators, district leaders?
Yeah, I missed the classroom, and I actually went back in 2018
to
teach fifth grade. My own, I have twins, and they started kindergarten. I'm like, okay, they're going to school. There was a fifth grade opening at the school they were going to, so I'll just be right upstairs.
Imagine Tony visiting with can I have your resume?
Do an interview, and Tony's like, do you know who I am?
They needed the right fit, and it was a good fit. And the school is an international baccalaureate school, so there's like lots of integration of the subjects. And then in fifth grade, they do something called exhibition, where they get to do a project that makes a difference in the world and communicate that.
I love that.
Awesome.
And so like, okay, this is me. I'm in. And we had one-to-one Chromebooks, and I learned a lot. I got to apply what I've been talking about for so long, and then I got to realize, things like, this could work in a better way or a different way. And so it was a great year, and I actually didn't know when I went back if it was going to be for a year or for the rest of my life. But the last time I taught, I was not a dad, and it was really hard to balance family and in teaching. And then also I was still I came to GaETC that year, but I had to make sub plans.
Yes. Sub plans is hard. Leaving the building.
Yes. And so it ended up just being a year.
Okay.
And then COVID hit. After COVID, I love being in the classroom, so I substitute teach every once in a while.
See, I love this. That he's still in the building subbing.
Bro, so tell me about this. Is it the same school that your kids go to, or are you just random?
Well,
can you come to? I mean, can you
they're
sub
middle
for me?
school now.
That's what I'm saying.
I've only subbed in the school that they used to go to and taught. And,
smart, yes.
But it's fun.
And why do you do that? So you just can be relevant, like what I asked?
To try things out, and usually it's prearranged. So I know the teacher, they know me, and they're like, okay, here's my lesson plans, but do whatever you want. So then I'll put my little own spin on there. And
do you get your own front parking space, Tony? Or do you come through the back of the school, or just like everyone
do not
else?
need special treatment.
No.
They pay for the Uber for him to show up. They go pick him up. He gets dropped off.
Similar to us in Creators
His
Row.
coffee's ready at the door when he comes in, as it should be. So, Tony, before we let you go, though, because you have other sessions that you're going to be attending and presenting on, tell our audience a little bit about what you have presented and what they could look forward to if they go to some of your sessions. What are some key things that they can look for?
Well, I love to meet teachers where they are. And so I've discovered like maybe my strength over the years is helping teachers with a workflow. Like, you want to do this, how do you make it happen? Or I try to digest it so that teachers who are low on time can say, okay, here's what you need to do. It's a big topic. So yesterday was exciting because it was really about customization and personalization in my sessions, where the first one was about making customized chatbots and learning experiences. So
we want to talk about that because we had a guest on the show who was at that session, and she was explaining it to us, and I was like, that sounds really, really cool, but it also sounds complicated. But she's like, it's not that complicated.
It hurt my brain.
Yeah. Well, when you think about how is the chatbot going to take students on this adventure, so I called it a chat venture.
Yeah.
How are they going to make this learning experience? It's actually like writing subplans. Like, you're writing the lesson plan or the flow for the chatbot, and then you're also giving some rules, like, the kids, if they try to like get off topic, you bring them back. Don't give them the answers. Like, you write these rules. You also give it a role. So, like, is the chatbot just going to be like a boring tutor, or is it going to be like a cool uncle, or is it going to be a poet who only talks in rhyme? You can really play with who the AI is.
That's cool.
And then you can also play with the format. Is it going to be a game show? Is it going to be a would you rather? Is it going to be a choose your own adventure? So you can kind of mix and match those things along with your topic and standards, so it takes students through this process. And then trying to tie it to workflow. And I came up with, and I've really analyzed all these things, especially with Google and making a custom gem that's included. You don't have to include this stuff, but if you do, you're probably going to have a better experience. So I made a gem that helps teachers make gems for students.
Nice.
Dang,
I like that.
So many
And
layers.
yes, I know. But the teacher just go to this one gem and it says, hey, I'm here to help you. What do you want to teach? All right. Then here's some ideas. I've given it all of my ideas, and I told the gem, pick the best ones for whatever the teacher's goal is. So it says, I see you're doing this. I think having the AI be a game show host would be a great idea, but what's your idea? And then I think a format would be a would you rather, but what's your idea? So the teacher gets to kind of brainstorm back and forth with the gem, and in the end, the gem says, all right, with all this information, here are the instructions that you can just copy and paste to make your own.
Love that. Nice and easy.
Do we understand now?
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We may need
it is a lot to wrap your head around. Yes.
But that's really cool.
And I do think what an engaging way for students and teachers. Inspire teachers a little bit too.
Absolutely.
Right? Give them a little spark.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So continuing with the personalization theme, then my next session was vibe coding, which is really, you're not coding. The AI is coding for it. You just kind of tell it
Where was that when you're building your own website in 98, bro?
No kidding.
Gosh. You can go back
when
in the future.
I actually partnered with some developers to make apps for Palm Pilots years ago.
Nice.
Like, this angle guessing game was really fun. So
cool,
then
Tony.
I showed how I vibe coded that game, and it's even better than what we had back then. And I did it in this. I made it a little more complicated than it needed to be. It took me about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we also talked about there's the mythical one shot when you code with AI, meaning that you you give it your ideas, and then the very first try it nails it.
I like that.
It's like a
That's the
unicorn,
unicorn. Yeah,
but we shoot for a one shot if we can. But otherwise, it's an iteration process and testing it out and seeing what you need to change. So, but you can personalize it. Like, I gave a little activity at the beginning if they wanted to do this word jumble. And it was all words that were going to play a role in my presentation coming up. And it gave them a clue. But I told it, but use this hex color code because it was the color that I was using in my slide. So my resources got to match.
That is cool.
And then I just shared a bunch of different things that I had coded for math and for writing and just little tiny apps. We talked about what is possible and things that it just can't do. And then when would you do that? When something doesn't exist that you want to make.
Gotcha.
So having that customization piece.
Wow. What's your AI tool go-to? Like, when you're doing, is it chat? Is it Gemini? What's your go-to right now?
It's kind of a balance between Gemini and ChatGPT, and personally, I pay for both of them because I use them both. I'm actually, one of the roles I have recently is I'm the AI coordinator for my local school district.
Oh, that's cool.
And we use Gemini because we're a Google Workspace, and we encourage teachers to use Gemini too because it's now a core service, which means its privacy and security are the same as if you're typing something into a Google Sheet or a Google Doc. ChatGPT does not give us those same benefits. So it just in the interest of what we do in education, Gemini
makes sense.
seems like
Talk
a
about
better
PII, all that stuff. We got to be careful when
Exactly.
we're putting that information.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah.
Where can we find you? Where can all the people find you, Tony Vincent?
Learninginhand.com.
Learninginhand.com.
Yeah. And really, I used to do a lot on social media, but
Not so
nobody reads social media anymore. So I started an email newsletter a year ago. So if you go to learninginhand.com, the one thing you can do is just click, and then every 2 weeks I send out a free newsletter
cool.
that just has. Next newsletter will be a recap of GaETC. So I'll share the resources and
You'll have this
and
podcast
ideas.
on there.
I'll have this
Obviously.
podcast
That'll
on
probably
there.
be the cover, I would think.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
think. Okay.
So hi, all newsletter readers discovering this podcast.
This is what I want. You listening? I want a section on the newsletter. I want a Palm Pilot. You've taken out the screen, and it's us on the Palm Pilot.
Okay. Yeah. Easy.
That's all I want you working on.
Yeah.
No presentation. That has to happen, Tony Vincent.
That will never happen.
He's like a
Never happen.
AI can do that.
Gemini will make that cover art.
Nano banana.
You go to them bots to work.
Yes.
Going to
Yeah.
work.
Tony's not doing it.
Yeah.
Gemini is doing it.
Well, I got to
so
tell you
cool.
about the one other session yesterday in that customization theme. It's one I had never presented about before, but it's 3D printing.
Oh, that's cool.
And we 3D printed like just different things that are useful in classroom, things like marker holders or customized
cool.
paper clips. But
What
then
about hands like that table? Did you do hands?
there's a hand right over there. Actually, last year I did print fake fingers and a ring, so that if somebody took a picture with that, they might think it's AI. So plausible deniability, like, oh, that wasn't me. Look, there's an extra finger
Yes.
in that hand.
That's cool.
That's
very cool.
This is fun, man.
This is fun. Tony, we could keep talking, but we know
Yeah.
you're a busy
I know.
guy.
I haven't been late to
You
the
have
next
many
session.
sessions that you're presenting at.
He's talking about Palm Pilots, I
He's
think,
talking
next
about
session.
that's next year.
Yes, come to that.
Yeah. And then, so you're always at GaETC. I want to promote, is there another conference coming up that you're going to be attending as well that people could look for you? Or
We're presenting it?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the Michigan conference, McCall. I'll be there in March.
Nice.
Yeah. So actually, if you miss some of these sessions, if they sound great, I'm probably like GaETC is actually my favorite conference.
Yeah.
I
So
like it.
I put so much effort into bringing something new here, but then I get to use them all year long.
I love that.
That's cool.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Thanks
you so
for
much
hanging
being
out.
here.
It was
Thanks
good
for
fun.
having me.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, we got to do this again.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. That'll do it for this episode of Bulldogs Unleashed. My name is David Miller, reminding you to dream boldly. Thanks again. Awesome.